All right, guys, I want to share something with you that is going to be a media strategy that people are going to be using left, right, and center quite a lot. And I think you're going to see it growing, I want to say day by day, month by month. And definitely in a couple of years, this is going to be a very normal strategy because in a weird way, it's kind of like crypto. Like people can't actually slow it down or stop it that well until we have some sort of, I hate to say it, but digital ID or something where we have to register an official profile, maybe even eventually do some sort of DMV for yourself, right? For your own social media profiles where you have to register. And I say that because I don't see another way where they can validate that you're an actual human in this age of like AI, right? So they need to see that it's you. You're going to have to go show some sort of ID, just like if you were getting a passport or whatever, except it's going to be for registering your official social media profiles. Now, that's an estimate, but I want to show you this strategy, and you're going to see why, from a decentralized perspective, this is going to be very hard to control, and you're going to see it continuing to grow. So we're going to hop in over here to this little view. Okay. Now, what I want you to see is something interesting. There's going to be a pattern here. Now, whether you love him or hate him, this is something Mr. Tate did. I'm not going to say his full name, but Mr. Tate did. And it's actually the reason that he became so big. And most people don't understand how it works. So with that said, I'm going to use my boy Morgan here. I met Morgan actually at an event in Beverly Hills. Super cool guy. By the way, he is a legit trader. So I recommend going and following this guy. Super, super cool dude. But with that being said, he's using this strategy right now and he's rolling it out. And so I was kind of breaking it down. I was looking into it a little bit because I was getting a lot of follows from new accounts that looked like him, but I knew couldn't be him because it'd be almost impossible to create the volume of Instagram accounts that are being created that are following me. And so with that said, I kind of did some prompting here to break this down for you so you can understand how this works and how you could apply it for your own brand. Now, if you guys don't know, the way that Mr. Tate actually became so famous was he essentially decentralized the distribution of his media. What that means is instead of his team chopping up and editing content and posting it on maybe one channel or two channels or 10 channels, instead what he did is he built a gigantic database of content and he put it all in a Google Drive folder or somewhere like that with some guidelines and parameters. And then he taught people how to edit for free, or he just gave people the opportunity to edit that media and how to post it. And he put incentives in place. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay. So for example, it's now 90% confirmed that Morgan is running the decentralized clipping strategy, aka we're calling that the Tate style media spiderweb. And here's why. Okay, you can see, right? Dozens of near duplicate accounts. You can see all some of these names. I mean, I've probably been followed by like 30 at this point in time in the last just couple of weeks. And he couldn't do that because Instagram itself would shut you down. If you tried to create that many accounts, even if you had all your team members doing it, that many accounts, right? In that many locations and doing activity that looks like bot activity, they would shut it down because they can track your IP, they can track your devices. You'd have to have 5 computers and never attach it to your Wi-Fi at home. You'd have to work from one specific coffee shop just to create this one account. That'd be too much work. What's easier is to incentivize the distribution of media. So for every 1,000 views that an editor can get, I might pay him $2. So here's what it means, right? Like these are all built around the same name, brand structure, tagging the same main account, right? And linking to some YouTube channels, some of them are. And classic trait of a distribution content farm. Every account acts as a traffic funnel. Now, content farms technically are against compliance to some extent. What's not against compliance is having unlimited different channels, right? Naming them whatever they want to and distributing that for you. Now, I don't know if Morgan is doing this from a content farm perspective or not. I don't really care. The dude's a cool guy. Like I said, go give him a follow, an actual follow. You know, you can see his main account right here at Morgan Hope. Anyway, super cool young dude, sharp guy. I enjoyed my my pretty long conversation with him. With that said, cross promotion and bio linking. Every page links back to the main anchor page. So that is driving authority traffic. But because it's out there in so many different nodes, if you will, in a network, you can just Google like what is a node on a network or put into ChatGPT. And it will help you understand like what it means to be an additional node on a network. The more nodes, the more powerful the network. The more things out in the world sending something directly attention back to you. So it's like if you had one person recommending you, right, as like a good friend, and then you had 100 people recommending you as a good friend, who do people believe is probably a higher probability is a good friend, right? I think you're going to know the answer to that, right? It's the one that says 100 people are talking about him instead of one. Well, the internet works the same way. So you could definitely use this strategy for yourself. Again, you could do a little AI chat session on this to say, how could I structure one of these things and try to give it as much context as possible. One other thing I'll mention here, and I mentioned this quite a lot, is you can actually do some cool stuff. Like if you get one of these voice, I think this one's called like voice and speech to text dictation. And because if you use the ones built in and they don't work very well, and I'll be honest with you, sometimes they cut out and that can be really frustrating. But what isn't frustrating is if you do something like this and you just kind of talk your thoughts out, you could pace around. I actually do this on my phone quite a lot, and I talk to it because we talk and type differently, and we type very formally and structured, and we also type a lot less. I want you to see how it populates in here if I stop talking. Watch. Okay. And then I might come in, structure, enter, enter down. I'm holding like, I think shift, enter. And anyway, I can just talk, share my thoughts, not be too structured and whatever, but kind of, I could talk around the point. I could talk directly to the point. I can give it enough context. And when you give it enough context, as long as you have a focused thing, you're not saying five opposite things, right? If you just speak your mind, it will actually start to understand how you think because it can analyze the context, the syntax, and the relationship between your words. And so while we're doing this, right, like the original prompt I put up here, I just dropped the images up there. And I put all this in. Well, I just talked that out. That's all I did. And then I just hit enter, right? And I think I had to go back and like edit one thing in there because I kind of know you're going to, after using it just a couple of times, you're going to know like what parts it mispronounces or misspells something and just go fix it really fast. It takes 2 seconds, but you get so much more context and you get a little deeper. So you could go do a session on this and say, how could I use this for my brand? Because it is a direct promotional model that people can use. And I wish I had some visuals with this right now. I'll eventually do like more structured content where I give actual visuals and animation and breakdowns. So you guys can more benefit from this. I'm a huge visual learner, so it helps me a lot. But if we say, watch this, ready? Let's pretend I'm new to this concept of this decentralized stuff, comma, the model we're talking about right now, comma. Please just give me a very concise playbook to just help me understand how I could roll this out for my own brand. But again, keep it short and sweet and very punchy and to the point. So notice, and to the point. That's it. That's all I just fixed. I saw that it was going to make that error. I saw it as it was talking it out. So watch this. This is your playbook. So this is for you right now, right? Decentralized clipping. Create the core content value, right? 5 to 10 long form videos, rants, frameworks, teaching case studies. You could do a live webinar, a masterclass, or whatever it is. Upload to Google Drive, right? Include titles, hooks, and CTAs. Okay, that's fine. You could do that. Auto generate viral clips. Oh, interesting. You could do that. Name clips clearly. Okay, so these could be clips that you could even like curate, make sure that there's stuff that you want out there about your brand. Recruit the clipping army, right? Create a landing page, water your account, and earn per view. Join the clip team. There are clipping chats. There are Facebook groups with 10,000 clippers in there. And you just go post and say, I have a project, right? And you can see, right, $2 per 1,000 views. That's one example. Affiliate percentage. So if you have some sort of recurring thing, well, just give them a percentage of the recurring. Like Go High Level gives you about 50% of the recurring. Well, if someone signs up and pays $100 a month, you're making $50 a month. If you do that, 10 times, you're making $500 a month. If you're doing that 1,000 times, you're making $50,000 a month. Am I doing that math right? Yeah, $50 a month. Yeah. So if you had 1,000 signups on there, you're doing $50,000 a month. It's pretty crazy. And people are doing this stuff every single day, right? Top monthly performer gets $100 to $500 bonus. So whoever creates the most viral clips, the most views, or the most affiliate signups or whatever, you can get bonuses. So now you have media as a sales team out there working directly for you. And these are kids. These are kids who are doing this stuff every single day. And they're going and they're clipping up their stuff. They're creating their own channels. And that's pretty much it, right? So let's assume I have no idea how to recruit these young people because I'm guessing that most of these clippers and editors are like young kids sitting in their mom's basement or home or something like that, and maybe even in high school. So let's pretend I need to understand how to recruit them and even how to frame it properly because I have no idea how to go about any of this. I'm tech illiterate. but I just know I need to speak with these young people and offer this thing. And I also don't know what normal rates are that I should be offering them. And because the example I gave earlier of $2 per 1,000 views, I don't even know if that's like a good way to go about it. And I don't even know what to tell these people on what to do, comma. So should I even be creating stuff from Opus Click? Or is it something that they need to curate and I just need to give them a brand profile of what's okay and what's not okay? So you can see how much context, how fast. If I had to type all that, it would never sound natural, number one. It would sound very formal, like a letter. And it wouldn't have the right context. It wouldn't hit the right thing, right? Um, okay, let's break it down. No tech, no fluff. How to attract clippers. Attract them with the right hook. Want to grow your own social media page, get paid per view, and work directly with a viral brand. Also apply the content you just post, grow, and get paid. Nice. Okay. Oh, look at this. Discord servers. Editing communities. Oh, wow. You can search that. I didn't even know you could. I'm learning right now. Editing community, viral video network, Opus Clip community. Wow. TikTok growth. Oh, my God. Clipper, short form editor. Oh, my God. You guys are getting a full playbook right now. Fiverr, Upwork. Post a simple job listing. Looking for a video. Wow. Dollar per views. I run a personal brand focused on. I'm launching. Get 500. Wow. This is crazy. Yeah. Simple. You pay $1 to $3 per 10K. So 10K views, you pay $20. You get paid $20 for 10,000 people to see a piece of content. It's pretty crazy. They earn a percentage of every sign up. Yeah, that's just an example. Base pay per views, bonus per affiliate results. Yeah, wow. Cheaper than ad spend. You see that? It's cheaper than ad spend. That's the whole point. Is like it's an alternative way where things can be working for you. This is a lot of leverage here. If you understand, this is truly a lot of leverage. Tell them what's allowed and what's not allowed. Dues, use only approved clips or one with X vibe. Okay. Link back to wherever you want them to go. Use this hashtag. Oh, nice. Oh, so you could track them. That's really smart. I would have never thought about that. So that way you can go through and look and see if there's anything that's like quality control you don't want. And then you could I don't know if you message the page directly or what. It's pretty cool. You could find all of your clips. Don't use fake screenshots or misleading claims. Don't pretend to be the brand owner. No AI voices or fake edits. That's a huge point. Give them a Dropbox, assign them a personal tracking link. Oh, they get a personal tracking. That's also genius. Ask them to submit their clips weekly via Google Form or Notion. Okay, so they have to be submitted for approval. And again, I could say, I'm not going to continue this, but like for me personally, what I would do here is I'd say, when you say to submit the clips weekly via Google Form or Notion, I'm guessing that should be some sort of link that they're linking to. So tell me how that would work. Maybe it's like a folder that they link all their edits and I can have my team members watch it back and approve and disapprove. And then they could run the approved ones, comma, I'm guessing that's what it would be. And then when you say, use the hashtags, are you saying that for quality control checking, or why would we use the hashtags? Just so I can understand better. So I'm going to cut this video right after this, but I am actually curious about this and I figure you'll benefit as well. Weekly edits to their own Google Drive, label each file with a naming convention. Okay. They submit a Google form. The form could collect link to their folder, club titles or topics. Okay, so notes, optionally where they plan to post it. Okay. Routine watches the clips from folder. You have Notion board. Yeah, you can look at that. You can just approve, disapprove, whatever. That is pretty cool. Too aggressive claim, fire, post it. Oh, like good, post it. Add CTA to the end for YouTube. Once approved, they can post them live. Wow, this is pretty sick. Why use hashtags? You can search your brand hashtags alike to find all clips you can post. Even if you don't follow the accounts, it's a low tech but powerful way to track compliance and performance. Okay, yeah, perfect. So again, you can kind of look at what's going on out in the marketplace. So that'd be required, for example, like you don't get paid unless you have those hashtags in there. Force brand consistency. They're thinking like a team, not rogue. algorithmic boost, yeah, I mean, it's huge, man. You're kind of swamping the platform, but in the decentralized way. Because if you try to centralize it, meaning like your team, there's all these little connecting pieces that you don't know from your devices and networks, like I said, that are all tracking each other. Like it can tell that you communicate with your team members all the time. So even if they bought a new device and then they start communicating with you, like these networks are so smart, they know how to associate things. And so it's truly got to be like people who are not related to each other posting your content. And this is a great way. So you're going to see this grow. You're going to see this make a lot of money because you cannot get, I'll tell you right now, to get 1,000 impressions, if we go back up and look in the math, you're looking at way more. So if you paid for 10,000 views, $20 would actually be like insanely cheap in this day and age. Because that means it's $2 per 1,000 views. You are not getting that on Meta anymore, right? This is much cheaper than Meta. And the competition will grow over time. Some people charge way more than this for edits, but it's directly tied to performance. So it's like, I'm not going to pay you unless the thing performs, which makes people want to make it perform and to figure out what makes it perform. And so that's now their job, is like what performs, not just what looks cool, but what actually gets the viewership. And now you have a viral method that you can reproduce theoretically forever, because how many people can post your stuff? Theoretically unlimited, right? For now, anyway. So anyway, I thought you guys might like this strategy. It's pretty cool. And I hope you benefit from it. And other than that, I will see you in the next video on this channel. I will just let you know. We do strategic marketing, strategic operations. We do strategic partnerships. That is what we do. And so we are looking for leverage in businesses. Where can we pull a lever and a bunch of money dumps out and more value for the customers of that brand, because we think long term. If we thought short term, it would just be levers about money. How much can we extract from the market? That's not how it works, unfortunately. And fortunately, like actually, thank God it doesn't work that way, because then the world would be a much worse place. But what I'm saying is, it is so much better that the things are aligned and that we give value and pull levers for money. And guess what? The world becomes a better place. Businesses become better. And as long as they're ethical and selling something actually good for the customer, then the customers will want to stay. And long term now, there's an ecosystem that is alive and well. It keeps jobs for the business people. And yes, unfortunately, in the age of AI, there's going to be less certain jobs and more different jobs. And we have to just understand that is human nature and the evolving timeline that we're in. So with that being said, that's what we do here on this channel. We're going to be talking about high leverage stuff. And I'll talk maybe a little about some other stuff too that is exciting to me, or maybe I'll make another channel. I don't know, but I hope you guys benefited from this directly. I hope this is something you can use to grow your brand in an ethical way. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Cheers and take care.